All right, so this is what my screen looks like. And I wanted to, I'm going to come over here to the project window and look at all of my clips here. And I'm going to just kind of figure out, it's nice to have it in icon mode when I haven't previewed the clips, if I'm just looking at them for the first time. And so I'm going to be dragging them over in the order I want my sequence. So it just so happens that there's two different videos that start with somebody going through the door. So one is this one here, 100 underscore 1635. It's 8 seconds long. Okay. And did you notice that when I hover over it, I can kind of move my cursor? I'm not clicking, I'm just hovering over it. And I can see what's in there. That's at the end, not at the beginning. So I kind of need to know that. This is the taking a piece of paper towel so I can kind of look through them. Here is a video that's only 4 seconds long of entering. So I can choose between my 4 and 8 second. You can choose whatever you want. I'm going to choose the 8-second video, so I can do that. And I'm going to left click on it. And then I'm going to left click on it and hold it. And I'm going to drag it to the timeline. Okay, so when I did that, a couple things happened. One is it popped up here in my program window. Sometimes I call this a preview window. And then down here, it is in my timeline, and it's also still here. And then if I click it on, if I highlight it, I also get a source window that allows me to do some different things here. So I don't really need to, I'm not going to be working with the source window this time. So over here with this clip, the name of the clip is 100 underscore 1635. When I dragged it over, it made the sequence the same number. So this sequence is called 100 underscore 1635. So not crazy about that. So I actually am going to be looking for that. And I'm looking for, it kind of created 100 1635. And look over here in the project window. Do you see that if I'm actually going to go into this mode, which is list mode, so I can show it to you a little bit easier. Do you see how each of these files, this one says 100 underscore 1639, this one says 100 underscore 1635, and next to it are an audio wave and behind it a video. So this says that this clip has both video and audio, video, audio, video, audio, video, audio. Now look at the bottom. It's kind of like one of these things doesn't belong. Do you see how this looks different, the one at the bottom? So it looks different, even though it's 100 underscore 1635. If I hover over it, it says in the white box that this is a sequence. If I go out to this 100 underscore 1635, it says that this is an MP4. So I'm going to go down here to the sequence, and I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to make my sequence Wilkerson K underscore practice motion. Okay, so I'm always kind of doing the same thing. And then I'm going to hit enter. And as soon as I did that, it changed the name of the sequence in the timeline. So there's my very first one. Okay, so this is my sequence. And this is the space where I'm going to be doing my editing. So this right here on the top of, it looks like a little home base on the top of the timeline, is called the playhead. And so I'm going to make sure I can see my my program. And I am, do you see there's kind of an invisible line here? It's a little bit darker than the rest. I'm going to squish down my timeline. And so that I can see more of my practice of my program window. And I'm going to decide where I want, this is how this starts. Someone is walking in, and then she opens the door. So you know what? I actually want to start this where she enters the frame, okay? So this is where I would like to cut it. And I want to get rid of this footage to the left. So I'm going to go over to the toolbar and click on the razor tool. I'm going to come over here and it kind of snaps to that line and I just cut it. So I'm going to go back to my selection tool. I'm going to erase. I'm going to click the part that I want to delete, and then I'm just going to press the delete button. Okay. So this is my very first clip, and I want that clip to start here. And then she's going to walk in, and then look what happens. She kind of turns back to the door. So we don't do that in real life, right? We just keep going. She knew she was being filmed. So I actually want to stop this right here where she is still facing forward. So I'm going to go back to my razor tool and I'm going to cut it there, go back to my selection tool, and I'm going to erase that second part. Okay, so this is where you're going to make a choice. So I want you to think when you go into the bathroom to wash your hands, do you go to the soap first and then on your dry hands and then go to the sink and start washing? Or do you wet your hands first and go to the soap? So I'm going to find out something about you with this. I think what I do is I go wet my hands first, then I get the soap. So I want to find something where I'm wetting my hands and then I'm going to go get the soap and I'm going to kind of do the clips that way. So I'm going back to my project window and I'm going to go to icon view so that I can see all of this. And so remember, I'm going to do washing hands. So here is the clip that shows washing. So I'm going to just kind of look at this and see what this looks like. Turning it on, washing, and doing that. Okay, so I'm going to click on it and I'm going to drag to the timeline. Okay, and so let's see what this looks like. So she walks in and then look, I'm kind of here. I don't want to have this pause. So I want to show you what this looks like right now. I'm going to play it in the program window. She walks in and then her hands just wait there for a long time. And then she starts wetting her hands. I think that takes too long. So I want her to start here. Let's see where this is. This is at 5:22, and I want to see what this looks like. Okay, so I like that. So I'm going to go to about 5:22, and I want to start it here. Now, I'm not sure if this is where I'm going to start it. I might need to make some adjustments later. So instead of using the razor tool, I'm going to use a different tool. So I have the selection tool. And do you see it's a selection tool? I'm in this second clip. But as I get to the left-hand edge, my selection tool turns into a window shade. So I'm going to left-click it, and I'm going to close the window shade to that point. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Okay. So I'm going to stop this about there. And in this case, because I'm not sure, I'm going to use the window shade again. So I'm going to put that together. Okay. So what happens next? I go get soap. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to look for soap. And there's two different soap things. So I'm going to decide which soap I want the best. So do I want, okay, here's one soap. Let me find it. Here's the soap. And here's the soap. Okay, so I'm going to drag soap over here. And this is what it looks like right now. Do you see that weird pause? So I don't want that weird pause. I want to go straight to this person making this motion. So I'm going to use my window shade, put it over next, and I'm going to see if I like that. Okay, I like it. So I'm going to close it. In fact, I might even close it a little bit earlier. And now I want to wash hands again. So there are some different videos of washing hands. And so I'm going to try and find some of those videos. That was the inside. This is some of this. I could just take this same video here, video clip, but I've already used part of this video clip. Do you remember where the water was going? And then I started doing this. I'm going to come back to this part and use the second part. So here's what this looks like now. Here's the soap. And then I'm going to finish washing. And then I'm leaving. So I'm going to just leave it that way. And then I'm coming over to get a paper towel. So here's my paper towel. So I'm going to drag paper towels over. And so right now, this is what I've got. She's leaving. And then she goes to get the paper towels. Awesome. And then she throws away the paper towels. And I put them here. And there's a weird hesitation. I don't want that hesitation. I want her to be in the middle of throwing them away. So I'm going to put those in. Okay, I don't want that to go on too long. And then she goes out the door. So I need to find the one of her going out the door. Is this it? No, that's her going in. I think this is the one of her going out. So I'm going to go ahead and put that at the end. And let's see how this looks. All right, now I'm watching the whole thing. Is it smooth? Is it fluid? Is there anything in there that's weird and stands out? Or does it make sense? And I think I want to finish it like right here. It gets a little strange. So I want to shorten this a little bit. And so I'll check it a couple times, but I think I'm in pretty good shape. So the next video will be about how to save and export it.